All right, guys, I'm on the phone right now. We'll be live shortly. Testing, testing. Sorry, guys, I did not expect to be on this call for this long. Their customer service is ridiculously slow. It shouldn't be much longer. I think probably a couple more minutes and then we'll get started. All right, testing. Let me get rid of this. All right, what's going on, guys? Sorry, I was calling one of my credit cards, getting some questions answered. I will say, if you guys ever want to open credit cards, American Express by far has the best customer service that I've tried. I opened up a new Chase card and their customer service is outrageous. It is literally like 99% automated robots, and it's like almost impossible to get a fucking real person on the phone. It's ridiculous. American Express literally takes like a couple clicks and you're talking to a real person. Another thing that's really annoying about the Chase card is they're the only card that I've ever opened that will not let you use the card immediately. They didn't they don't give you the full details of the card until it actually arrives at your house. American Express, like literally you sign up, the fucking cards like in your wallet pretty much. So I will say American Express by far is probably better than every single competitor. But all right, let's take a look at some things. Obviously, I think a lot of you guys probably saw CAR today. Hopefully, you guys were able to make some money off that. We did talk about it in our summary of markets. We've been talking about this in the Discord and the weekly watch list for at least a month plus now. So hopefully, you guys were able to make some money on it. Obviously, would have been very hard to catch this entire move. I didn't even myself catch the majority of this move. I was taking little tiny scalps on shares. But I stopped trading this around the first halt, I believe it was. Let me see. Yeah, around this halt right here is when I stopped trading it. I don't like trading things that are halting, so I didn't take any scalps after this. So I missed out on that secondary short squeeze. But this move was absolutely disgusting. I actually did not know until today that CAR had a massive short float. I thought they were just pumping on earnings. But then they came up on my short squeeze scanner and they actually had a 33, I think it was like 30% short float. Let me see. It was 29% short float with 8 days to cover. So that's a pretty big it's a pretty big way to get a nice little short squeeze out of it. Days to cover are not that high. If it was like 15 or something, that'd be ridiculous. What days to cover means is it takes the average volume and it tells you based on the average volume how many days would it take to cover this short float. But obviously today is not an average day of volume. Like let's see, where's the volume on this? The volume's at 27 million. The average before today was 1.7 million. So you're already 27x pretty much your average volume. So the days to cover has been obliterated at this point. The short squeeze has been completely played out. The shorts are completely annihilated. This thing ran over 200% within, 2 hours? So extremely fast and volatile move. It was actually within an hour. Yeah, hour and like 15 minutes. If this goes for a secondary move, it would be a little harder, obviously, because the shorts are already dead. But our targets would be around 450, and then the upper targets would be around 550 to 570. The only other big mover that we had this or today on our watch list was Overstock. Overstock had that pretty big triangle breakout here. The weekly is getting that triangle breakout. Our first target was around 100. Now we're looking for around 110 to 120. It looks pretty strong. The weekly's climbing without any resistance so far, and the Momo is climbing on both the trend and the short term. So this looks pretty damn good. The weekly also has a buy signal on the bot. Everything else on our watch list was pretty much standard. AMD moving a little bit, Target moving a little bit. Car Gurus we're adding to the list today as a sentiment play for Avis Group. You also have Carvana. They have earnings coming up, so maybe they have a little sentiment play on earnings based on car as well. Another one that we added to the list is 3M. 3M is a sitting on a daily pivot and a weekly pivot. You also have an inverse head and shoulders on the daily. So if this can bounce back above the monthly VWAP and that pivot around like 185, 184, this could be a very bullish reversal back into like 200. So keep an eye on that. A couple things on our long-term watch list doing pretty well. Wolf up 1.5, Coinbase up 2.8. Little pullback on Meta and PayPal. Coupang also pulling back, but we actually want Coupang to pull back because we're targeting $30 and we don't want it to be much above 30 in the next 2 weeks. As far as big tech goes, Microsoft moving a little bit, Apple moving a little bit. Microsoft looks pretty healthy, could get 336 by the end of the week. Apple is back above that daily pivot. Next target on that would be around 153. Facebook pulling back a little bit, also getting a daily sell signal on the OTS trail. Netflix pulling back on the target. Amazon pulling back below the pivot a little bit. And Tesla getting a little bit of a micro pullback. So most big tech is consolidating here. Bitcoin and Ethereum look pretty good. Bitcoin breaking out of the pennant, back above the daily pivot. If you can get above like 67, you're probably going to get that 72 target. Next up is Ethereum. Ethereum holding on to that uptrend, nice little tweezer bottom, breaking out of the 4,300 level. 4,500 has been hit. 4,600 is the next target, and then 4,963. SPY all-time high today, Q's all-time high, IWM all-time high, and Dow Jones all-time high. So pretty typical November moves, every index hitting all-time high. IWM is a little scary because you put in an all-time high, then you immediately started selling off. But I think as long as you can hold around 230 on the next pullback, it should be fairly bullish. Hey, dude, you said all your NFT and shitcoin degening about to cost you a ton of money. Yeah, I know. I only bought one NFT for like $1,200 and it's already down like, I don't know what, 400 or something. He said banks are scum with the hoops we have to jump through. It's ridiculous, dude. Hey, Sinla. The FOMC tomorrow, my thoughts, not too sure, man. I don't really follow the Fed stuff as much as I should, to be honest. I'm not well versed in all the things the Fed does. The main things that I watch out for with the Fed is like tapering, asset purchases. I pay attention to rates and whatnot, but I don't ever try to anticipate anything that happens in those meetings. I just wait for them to happen and then I react. They're too volatile to anticipate, to be honest. You're better off just letting it happen. Any of you guys in chat play the car move today?
Facebook trying to reclaim 328.
Facebook not doing too bad. Just needs to get above that OTS trail at 333. You missed it, but you played Sava calls. I didn't see Sava today. Let's see. Oh, nice little move. Did they have earnings this morning or did they have earnings? I'm guessing they did. They're up 34%. Or did they have earnings after hours? Very clean bulldog forming here. You have that double bottom pop up, maybe a small pullback here, put in the head, and then push higher. Ethereum looks really strong here. What are my thoughts on 1 inch? Let's take a look. Finally had that massive move that we were talking about last week or the week before. Pivot topped you out, pulling back. Nice little doji though. I like the doji yesterday. This bottoming doji here. This is actually a fractal doji, so it's kind of like a morning star. If you can close above like 475 today, it looks pretty bullish to be honest. Anything above 414 holding that pivot and that previous range high is very bullish. You see how this has like a little range right here? You have all the highs, and now we're flipping it into a low. This is a very key area around $4. So any pullback above like $4, $4.25 is actually very healthy. We can grab this level and kind of move it right around here. CME trying for Ethereum futures in December. I did see that. That should be pretty bullish, to be honest. The CME charts are usually pretty clean. Yeah, I think you asked me that question before. I don't really disclose that type of stuff, but what I will say is as long as you are outperforming the average market, then you should be just fine trading instead of investing, right? If you like say for example, the average return of the S&P, I mean, historically it was like 7 to 13%. Now it's getting a lot higher than that because of post-COVID. But let's just use 10% as an example. If the S&P averages 10%, as long as I am doing over 10% on my portfolios, then I feel pretty good. And I've done much more than 10% this year. We've had some pretty good trades this year. We had a very good start to the year in January with our penny stocks. We had a couple of options trades after that do very well. We lost a little bit of money in February. February was the worst month of the year. After that, we started toning down our options trades. I started selling premium again. We started taking smaller trades. We started focusing on shares. We had a lot of really good share plays this year. We had Costco, we had Netflix, we had all of our shipping plays. We had a few trades on some big tech as well. I think we traded Microsoft this year as well. We had some SPY lottos throughout the year. What else did we do that was pretty big? We had some ES trades that did very well. Biggest loss on the year, I think, was gold. We had some gold and silver trades that we had to cut, that we took a nasty loss on. Besides that, all of our losses were fairly small. We took some losses on a few lottos. And then we had a couple of share plays that we took some losses on.
Deja, what's the airport in Colorado?
Eagle Vale something.
EGE?
Yeah, Eagle. Yeah, I think that's it. Let me check my my plane tickets. Yeah, EGE, exactly. There's another airport near there, like the Denver airport, but it's much farther away. You'd have to get you'd have to get taxied. But yeah, the biggest loss of the year was gold and silver by far. Yeah, the shipping plays were absolute fire. They I think even now they're the biggest play of the year.
And which place were you deciding on?
Let me mute real fast. Yeah, I think the shipping plays are the biggest play of the year, and the second biggest. What was the second biggest? Let me check my portfolio real fast. Netflix was pretty big, but it wasn't. If we would have held the whole time, it would have been nice. I played uranium really early in the year, I think, SR, if I remember correctly. It was either early this year or late last year. I was in lithium. Lithium was a bigger play. That was one of our biggest trades of last year, was lithium.
Mars breaking out. Mars breaking out.
Yeah, Ethereum's about to break an all-time high.
Yeah, all the crypto stocks are running.
It won't show me my history on my mobile app, sadly. But yeah, I think it was mainly big tech stuff, shipping, and then we had a lot of ES scalps. ES scalps were one of our biggest things this year. The penny plays, honestly, were top 5, definitely. I really wish the penny market stayed longer than a month. Like, we had all those penny plays in January, and then it just died in February. We couldn't keep trading penny stocks the way we were. Hey, Moneybag. Yeah, to go back to your question, missing in action is usually around this time of year. I start ramping up my buys on my long-term portfolio, which we've been doing. I've been adding a lot of stuff. I typically like to buy before November because November is historically very bullish going into the next year. And then I hold these plays through the rest of the year, so I don't get taxed on them the same way. But if I did very well for like the first 3 quarters of the year, I don't trade very heavily for the last quarter of the year. I only buy on my long-term portfolio, and we kind of sit back and relax. And that's basically what we're doing. I haven't taken really any short-term stuff. I took some car scalps today, which was basically just buying and getting out on the pumps. But I wasn't planning on holding that, or I'm not planning on holding anything like short-term. The most short-term thing that I have right now is I'm selling calls on my Coupang shares. So I bought a bunch of shares on Coupang, and then I'm selling calls on top of that. So I'm going to keep selling calls as long as I don't get exercise and lose my shares. I'm going to keep selling calls short-term. Any thoughts on yield farming worth the time? I tried out yield farming with Atlas and Ray. I did it for about, I think, 2 months or so, and I ended up losing like only like $100 or $200 or something out of like 2,000. So with how much Atlas nuked, it actually performed better than if I was just holding Atlas, but I didn't make any money. That's the only time I've ever done yield farming.
And then Atlas went up like 100%.
Yeah, but even if it did that, would I have made more money? Because I thought like if it goes up like that, it wouldn't really affect the value.
It just affects your holdings, because if you're down on it and it goes back up, you'll basically break even on the trade and then collect whatever yield.
Okay, because I wasn't holding any Atlas. I was reinvesting all of it, so it was all on the farm. I'll probably get back into it eventually when I figure it all out, but yeah, Atlas is pumping. So what I could have done is I could have taken out all my Atlas from the farm, and it was damn near the bottom. And then it would have went up 60%, and that would have made us a killing. So if I would have pulled my money out of the farm, and I would have expected this to go up, we would have made a lot of money off that.
Yeah, the Atlas Ray APR is almost 120% right now.
Yeah.
And if you do a daily compound, it's 225% APY.
Yeah, it was hovering around like 140, I think, when I was doing it. Yeah, Ray looks really good. It's in a nice little bull flag.
Yeah, Deja, I think we could do it. 23 minutes. Shit, I've seen Tesla pump fucking $5 in 1 minute. 1,200 end of day.
It's got a micro pullback, so it's looking a little. It's healthy. It's a healthy pullback. It can break like 12.10 tomorrow. Looks pretty good.
It's only $15 more. Only 15. That's like $5 per $5 per 5 minute. You know what I mean?
That's how they're spelled, Sticky.
$3,000 a night at this place.
Hold on. Let me mute real fast.
This one looks like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, you'd like that one. That one's nice.
Flight. The best room is what, the executive or the 1-bedroom?
Yeah, I think the executive ones are a little more. Tesla bounce off the daily VWAP and POC. Yeah, it is. It's got a micro pullback on the daily. So this is it's technically a bearish harami, but it's a green candle. If this was a red candle, this would actually be pretty bad. But because it's a green candle, it's not terrible. It's more of a micro pullback. But it looks like it wants to go higher, to be honest.
$6,000 for me and my girlfriend to come up.
I would. Is that? Hold on. Let me mute. That they always try to get you like, oh, there's only 2 rooms left, and then you go back the next day, oh, there's only 1 room left. It's like
I want a room with a view too. I don't really want to be in a box.
see, that's the problem with that. That's the one that you're looking at. It's deep in the village, so like the views are. It's mainly in the village. The second one I sent you is more towards the ski slopes, so you can see the mountains. But the rooms aren't as nice, but the views are much nicer. Want to take a look at BTT? Let me take a look.
Deja, we're about to get another all-time high in Qs.
Yeah, I can see it's ripping.
Well, the Sebastian has a steam room and sauna.
Yeah, in the spa. Yep.
Yeah.
Looks like a little bulldog, to be honest, Moneybag. Got a little bulldog going on here. If it can break this resistance on the pivot, get above like 004, I'd probably target the other pivot at around 0048. And then you have a monthly VWAP at 006. But you're definitely struggling right here. There's a lot of resistance right here.
Oh my God, it's Microsoft. Look at how tight Microsoft is getting. It's just been consolidating straight up. There was like some bullish news this morning, something about some new tech that they got.
You're averaged in around 0.0029. You bought a lot on the dip. Then you've been dollar cost averaging since the early in the year. Nice. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talking about that a few months ago, but not too much recently. This little pennant breakout on Bitcoin is really, really clean. This is also indicative of a bear trap. The bears are being trapped here, which also you can see from the buy the dip signal on the OTS. And then you also have like a one candle sell on the daily bot, which is indicative of a bear trap. So you can see it gave a sell signal. So even the bot's getting trapped, right? So you're closing the long, and then it's going to turn into a buy signal really quickly if this starts to pump. So this was a very good bear trap.
Yeah, SPY looks like it wants all-time high as well.
Yeah, they were also rolling out some metaverse stuff. How's Mana holding? I haven't looked at it recently because it just makes me very sad. It's holding around $3. AMD's full sending, is it? It was looking good earlier. It had a oh, it's ripping. Yeah, there we go. Had a nice move yesterday thanks to ON. ON had really good earnings. Yeah, Sticky, if you look at, I think it's called Lux Airbnb, it's like where you can find like the mansions and shit. They have some fucking villas in Vale that are disgustingly nice. And if you had like 8 people, you could do it for pretty cheap.
Zoom's putting in like around the bottom.
I say we do that next year.
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
Or probably, I guess, the year after, because next year we're already doing the other thing.
Sebastian looks fine to me. I'm thinking.
Workhorse looks nice on the bot buy. I didn't see that. Let's take a look. So yeah, add another $1,000 to your Lululemon expense. Yeah, Workhorse breaking the OTS trail. You have a pivot coming in here. The Momo's breaking out. You have earnings coming up though, so it doesn't really matter how good it looks. Yeah, the bot looks good. Finally buying after what? 118 days. So if they have good earnings, this could be a complete bottom. But this thing's been nuking for quite some time. Ever since they lost that deal with the Postal Service, they've been going down. Ethereum like double topping here. I told Hopper they've got like a massive price discrepancy on one of those hotels, and they said they're gonna look into it, but it's gonna take 2 days. Yeah, so the price is gonna fucking like double by then. No thanks.
Can't you reserve on Hopper for like 15 bucks?
You can do like the price freeze thing, which I fucked myself. I froze the first one, and you can move them to another one. But I'm thinking about going to the second one, so I have to move the price freeze over. I wasn't going to buy it on Hopper until like literally within an hour they dropped their price by $100 a night. So now I probably will.
Yeah, if I book this through Expedia, I get 10% off plus fucking like 13,000 points, which is
Yeah.
another flight anyway.
If I book through Chase, I get 5x points, which is it comes out to like around 250 bucks worth of points. But I called them and I asked like if I book through a third party and it says it's non-refundable, will my trip insurance on my card still cover it? And they said it will, so I'm just gonna book on a third party. Strong USDC. I haven't seen that name in a long time. Doesn't look too bad. I think trends like crazy. That's a really nice trend. Buy the dip signals have worked out pretty much 100% of the time. You almost got to buy the dip 2 days ago. You barely missed it. You can see you tapped the trail, but for the buy the dip to come in, you have to break the trail and come back. So this is technically like a buy the dip opportunity, but it's not signaling it on the bot. So this looks pretty good. Every single retest of the trail has led to a higher high. This is pretty extended. So I'd say the probability of getting a higher high is lower than it was before. But your odds are still pretty good. The trend's not bad. If you lose like 880 where the trail is, then I'd be a little worried. Five-minute SPY holding the pivot, looking a little toppy, but it's kind of a healthy pullback to be honest. You don't want it just to keep ripping an all-time high. These pullbacks are pretty healthy.
I love it.
Sorry guys, wasn't talking as much as I normally do. This stream, been doing a bunch of shit on my other monitors, trying to get some stuff sorted. I do have to close the stream right at 4 as well. I do have a tutoring session I got to get to. So I appreciate you guys being here, even though it was a short, kind of boring stream. If you guys like the video, make sure to hit that like button. I will be streaming tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. You guys know the drill. For tomorrow, I'm thinking about doing another Quant Tower video. So if you guys want to stop by and learn some tips and tricks on how to read order flow using Quant Tower, make sure to stop by tomorrow. The only reason I wouldn't do it tomorrow is if we're just doing like a very standard balanced day, because we've already covered that. The past 2 videos that I did last week, we're kind of covering how to trade a balanced day. So if we're like very balanced, we'll probably just do a normal stream. But otherwise, we'll do another Quant Tower stream. So make sure you guys stop by tomorrow, and we'll check out Bitcoin and Ethereum, see what's going on. But all right, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. And then if you guys are in Discord, I'll be posting analysis later tonight, and I'll catch you guys in the morning at 9:30.